This ache in your lower back is not just a muscle. It is a message you have been ignoring for far too long. A silent alarm from the very center of your being. Most people will ignore this and click away, searching for a 5-second fix or a magic pill. But 99% will miss the true ending of this video, where the relief becomes permanent because the understanding has finally changed. The cost of leaving now is to remain trapped in the cycle of temporary relief and recurring pain, always treating the symptom, never healing the cause. You are here because you are ready to listen to your body's wisdom. The journey we are about to take is not about stretching harder or pushing through pain. It is about reconnecting with the part of yourself you have forgotten. It is about understanding that your physical structure and your inner state are one and the same. The tension you feel in your spine is a reflection of the tension you carry in your life. To release one is to release the other. This is not an exercise. This is a homecoming. The pain. Let us begin there. Not by fighting it, not by cursing it, but by acknowledging its presence. For many, this sensation is a constant, unwelcome companion. It is there when you wake up, a stiff reminder of the night's stillness. It is there when you sit, a dull throb that radiates from the base of your spine, making focus impossible. It is there when you stand, a feeling of weakness, of instability, as if the pillar that holds you upright is about to crumble. We have been taught to see this pain as an enemy, a malfunction in the machine of the body. We take pills to silence it, we use cushions to trick it, we avoid movements that provoke it. We build our lives around the pain, making it the quiet, tyrannical center of our world. But what if this perspective is wrong? What if the pain is not a malfunction, but a perfectly functioning signal? The modern world encourages this disconnection. We are told to numb our feelings, to push through discomfort. We live in our heads, disconnected from the physical reality of our existence. We treat our bodies like vehicles we use to carry our brains from one meeting to another. The pain in your back is a rebellion against this disembodiment. It is a powerful, primal call to return home to your physical self. It is asking you to feel again. So the first step is not to move. The first step is to be still, to close your eyes, to breathe, and to direct your awareness to that precise location of the sensation. Do not label it bad. Do not wish it away. Simply observe it. Feel its texture, its temperature, its exact shape. Greet it like an old acquaintance. This simple act of mindful presence is the beginning of all healing. It is the moment the ruler finally turns away from the noise of the world and begins to listen to the wisdom of his own kingdom. The pain, once heard, begins to change its nature. It is no longer a threat, but a guide. This process of listening reveals a profound truth. The pain is rarely isolated. When you truly pay attention, you may notice that the ache in your back is connected to tightness in your hips, to tension in your shoulders, to the way you clench your jaw. You begin to see the web of connections, the chain of dysfunction that has spread throughout your structure. This is because the body is not a collection of separate parts. It is a unified, intelligent system. The problem we call lower back pain is often not a problem in the back at all. It is a symptom of a deeper issue, one that usually originates from the way we use or fail to use our entire body. The pain is simply the place where the stress has finally become too much to bear. It is the weakest link in a chain of neglect. By listening to it, you are not just preparing to fix your back. You are preparing to restore integrity to your entire being, to rebuild your inner temple from the ground up, starting with its deepest and most neglected foundation. Modern chains. Now, let us ask, why has this signal become so common? Why is this imbalance epidemic in our time? The answer is in the environment we have built for ourselves. Look at the way you are sitting right now, watching this. Look at the way you spend most of your day. We are the generation of the chair. We are the people of the screen. We have traded open fields for office cubicles, dynamic movement for static postures. Our bodies, which were designed over millennia for walking, running, squatting, and climbing, are now confined for 8, 10, 12 hours a day to a single unnatural position. This chair, this desk, this car seat, these are our modern chains. They are comfortable, They are convenient, but they are slowly and systematically dismantling the natural strength and alignment of our bodies. Consider the shape of your spine when you sit for a long time, especially when you are focused on a screen. The natural, gentle S-curve of the spine begins to collapse. The lower back, which should have a slight inward curve, a lordosis, flattens out or even rounds outward. The pelvis, which is the foundational bole that supports the entire spine, tucks under in a posterior tilt. This posture puts immense constant pressure on the lumbar discs, the soft cushions between your vertebrae. They are not designed for this kind of sustained static load. At the same time, the muscles at the front of your hips, the hip flexors, become short and tight from being held in a flexed position for hours on end. These tight hip flexors then pull the pelvis forward and down, further exaggerating the strain on the lower back when you finally do stand up. It's a vicious cycle. The chair creates the tightness, and the tightness locks you into a posture that creates more pain. This is not just a physical problem, it is a deep psychological one. This posture of collapse, this C-shaped curve of the spine, is the posture of defeat. It is the posture of submission, of being overwhelmed. When we are sad, when we are tired, when we feel powerless, our bodies naturally fold inward. By spending our days locked in this shape, we are sending a constant subconscious signal to our brain that we are in a state of chronic stress and defeat. The body influences the mind just as the mind influences the body. The physical chains of the chair forge mental and emotional chains. The feeling of being stuck in your life, the feeling of being unable to move forward, is mirrored and reinforced by the physical reality of being stuck in a chair. Your body has become a question mark, hunched over a glowing screen, and it has forgotten how to be an exclamation point of vitality and presence. To break these chains requires a conscious act of rebellion. It requires you to become aware of this invisible prison and to actively work against it. The 4-minute practice we will explore is not just a physical therapy, it is an act of liberation. It is a declaration that you will no longer allow your environment to dictate the state of your being. It is about reclaiming your sovereignty over your own physical structure. But this rebellion cannot be a violent one. You cannot force your body back into alignment. After years of being held in these modern chains, the muscles have adapted. Some have become weak and dormant. Others have become chronically tight and overactive. A sudden, forceful movement will only lead to more injury and more pain. The process must be one of gentleness, of intelligence, of re-education. You must teach your body, with patience and kindness, how to remember its natural state. You must slowly, mindfully unlock the chains, link by link, starting from the very center of the problem, the forgotten foundation of your power. What is this foundation? It is not your back muscles. It is not your legs. The true foundation of your physical power, the center from which all stable and powerful movement originates, lies deep within your core. But when we say the word core, most people think of the superficial muscles, the six-pack abdominals. This is a profound misunderstanding. The six-pack muscles are for flexing the spine forward. They are the show muscles. The real core, the one that provides true stability for your spine, is much deeper. It is a corset of muscle that wraps around your entire midsection. It includes the transverse abdominis, which acts like a natural weightlifting belt, the multifidus muscles, which are small muscles that run along the spine, connecting each vertebra, the pelvic floor at the bottom, and the diaphragm at the top. This inner unit, this deep core, is the forgotten foundation. In a healthy, functional body, this deep core activates automatically a split second before you move a limb. If you raise your arm, your deep core should fire first to stabilize your spine, creating a solid base from which your arm can move freely and powerfully. However, in a body that has been chained to a chair, this system goes offline. The brain forgets how to activate these deep muscles because they are never called upon. Instead, the body learns to compensate. It starts using the big, superficial muscles to do the job of the small, deep stabilizers. Your lower back muscles, your hip flexors, your hamstrings, they all start working overtime, trying to provide the stability that the core is no longer offering. This is why they become tight, overworked, and painful. They are doing a job they were not designed for. Your lower back pain is the cry of these overworked, exhausted muscles. The solution, therefore, is not to stretch the tight back muscles. While that might provide temporary relief, it does not solve the underlying problem. Stretching a muscle that is tight because it is overworked and weak is like flogging a tired horse. The real solution is to reawaken the dormant muscles of the deep core. It is to turn the system back on. We must remind the brain of the existence of this inner corset and teach it how to engage it again. Once the deep core is functioning properly, it will take over the job of stabilization. The overworked, superficial muscles, like the ones in your lower back, can finally relax. They can let go of their chronic tension because they are no longer needed to do a job that isn't theirs. The pain disappears, not because you have treated it directly, but because you have removed the reason for the pain. You have restored order to the kingdom. The stabilizers are stabilizing and the movers are moving. This is a subtle internal process. You will not feel a powerful burn like you would with crunches. The activation of the deep core is a quiet, gentle sensation. It is a feeling of deep support, of being held from within. It is a stillness, a solidity at your very center. Finding this connection is the key to everything. It is the missing link in almost all conventional approaches to back pain. People stretch, they get massages, they take medication, but they never address this fundamental dysfunction at the core. That is why the pain always comes back. The 4-minute practice we are about to begin is designed with one primary goal: to systematically and gently reawaken this forgotten foundation. It is a dialogue between your mind and your deep stabilizing muscles. We will use the floor, our breath, and precise minimal movements to guide your awareness inward and re-establish this vital connection that has been lost to the chair and the screen. First step: place your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Your feet are your connection to the earth. Feel the entire surface of each foot making contact with the ground. Feel the stability this provides. Allow your arms to rest by your sides, palms facing up, as a gesture of receptivity. Now close your eyes. The outside world with its distractions can wait. For the next 4 minutes, your attention belongs entirely to your inner world. The first tool we will use is the most powerful and the most neglected: your breath. For a moment, just observe your breath as it is. Is it shallow, residing only in your chest? Is your belly still? This is the breath of anxiety, the breath of a mind that is disconnected from its body. We are going to change this. Abdomen, just below your navel. As you inhale through your nose, I want you to direct the breath not into your chest, but down into your belly so that you feel your hands gently rise. This is diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. This is the way babies breathe. It is our natural, optimal breathing pattern. The diaphragm is the roof of your deep core. By breathing in this way, you are beginning to gently massage your internal organs and stimulate the vagus nerve, which sends a signal of safety and relaxation to your entire nervous system. As you exhale slowly through your mouth, allow your belly to fall. Let go of all the air. Feel the tension begin to melt away with each exhalation. Do this for several cycles. Inhale, the belly rises. Exhale, the belly falls. This is the rhythm of life. You are not just bringing air into your lungs, you are bringing awareness into the center of your body. With each breath, you are preparing the ground. You are calming the overactive nervous system that keeps your muscles in a state of chronic tension. Before we can ask the deep core to awaken, we must first create an environment of safety and stillness. A frightened animal cannot learn. A tense body cannot realign. This breathing is the most critical part of the entire practice. If you do nothing else but lie on the floor and breathe into your belly for 4 minutes a day, you will already be making a profound change. You are shifting from a state of fight or flight to a state of rest and digest. You are turning down the volume of the pain signal by addressing the systemic stress that amplifies it. This is the first step. It is simple, it is gentle, and it is the gateway to the deeper work that follows. You are learning to inhabit your body again, one conscious breath at a time. The floor is supporting you. Your breath is centering you. You are now ready to begin the conversation with your forgotten foundation. Now that the foundation is set, the breath is deep, and the mind is calm, we will introduce the first gentle movement. This movement is so small, so subtle, that an outside observer might barely notice it. But its effect on your internal awareness is profound. This is the pelvic tilt. Remember the arch in your lower back when you first lay down. We are now going to learn how to mindfully and gently reduce that arch, not through force, but through the intelligent activation of your deep abdominal muscles. Keep your hands on your lower abdomen. As you exhale, I want you to imagine you are gently drawing your navel in towards your spine. As you do this, you should feel a subtle tension under your fingertips. This is the transverse abdominis, your inner corset, beginning to engage. Simultaneously, as you draw your navel in, allow your pelvis to rock backward so that your lower back gently presses into the floor. The space under your back should disappear. It is crucial that you do this with the exhalation. The exhale naturally facilitates the engagement of the abdominal wall. Think of it as gently sighing your back into the floor. Then, as you inhale, relax everything. Allow the pelvis to rock forward again and feel the natural arch return to your lower back. Repeat this movement slowly, in sync with your breath. Exhale, draw the navel in, and press the lower back gently into the floor. Inhale, relax, and allow the arch to return. The movement should be smooth, like a slow, gentle rocking. There should be no strain, no pain. If you feel your glutes or your hamstrings tensing up to create the movement, you are using the wrong muscles. Relax them. The initiation must come from deep within your abdomen. This is not a crunch. You are not trying to lift your hips off the floor. The power is in the subtlety. You are isolating the deep core and teaching it to control the position of your pelvis. The pelvis is the keystone of your entire skeletal structure. If the pelvis is misaligned, the spine above it will be misaligned and the legs below it will be misaligned. By learning to control the tilt of your pelvis with your deep core muscles, you are taking back control at the most fundamental level. You are correcting the posterior tilt that comes from sitting in a chair all day, but you are doing it actively by re-engaging the very muscles that have gone to sleep. You are re-establishing the neural pathway, the connection between your brain and this forgotten foundation. Perform this gentle rocking for about 1 minute, always connecting the movement to the breath. Exhale, flatten, inhale, release. Close your eyes and bring all of your focus to the sensation. Feel the deep, quiet engagement in your lower abdomen. Feel the gentle lengthening of the tight muscles in your lower back as you press it into the floor. Feel the contact point between your spine and the ground changing. You are giving your lumbar spine something it has desperately needed. Gentle, controlled movement in a safe, supported position. You are breaking up the stiffness and rigidity that has settled in from hours of static posture. You are lubricating the joints, hydrating the discs, and most importantly, you are reminding your body of a pattern of movement that is efficient, safe, and correct. This gentle awakening is the first dialogue. You are asking the core to wake up, and with each repetition, it begins to respond. Inner axis. We have established the connection. We have reawakened the deep core's ability to control the pelvis. Now we will challenge it. We will ask it to maintain stability while the body is in motion. This is the true function of the core, to create a stable center, an inner axis, while your limbs move around it. This next phase of the practice introduces a small, controlled movement of the leg. This is where the magic truly happens, because it mimics the functional demands of real life. It tests whether the deep core can stay on when other parts of the body start to move. This is the difference between an isolated exercise and a functional restoration of movement. Begin by returning to the neutral position. Find the halfway point between the fully arched back and the fully flattened back. There should be a small, natural curve in your lumbar spine, but not an excessive one. Now, engage your deep core just as you practiced. Gently draw your navel in towards your spine, as if you are zipping up a tight pair of pants. This is not a full-on contraction, but a subtle 20 to 30% engagement. You should still be able to breathe deeply into your belly. This engaged, neutral position is your new home base. Your task for the next minute is to maintain this stability, this inner axis, no matter what. Do not allow your pelvis to rock or your back to arch. The core is now your anchor. With your core engaged and your pelvis stable, slowly, very slowly, begin to lift one foot just 1 inch off the floor. The movement must be incredibly slow. If you move quickly, your body will revert to its old compensatory patterns. Speed is the enemy of awareness. As you lift the foot, all of your attention should be on your core and your pelvis. Did anything change? Did your back arch? Did your hips shift to one side? If so, you have lost the connection. Lower the foot, reset your core, and try again, even more slowly. The goal is not to lift the leg high. The goal is to lift the leg while keeping the center of your body perfectly still and stable. It is a test of your inner stillness in the face of outer movement. Once you can lift the foot an inch without losing stability, lower it back down with the same slow, controlled precision. Then, repeat with the other leg. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. The entire time, your focus remains on the stillness of your core. You may find that one side is more challenging than the other. This is valuable information. It reveals imbalances in your system. Do not judge it. Simply observe and continue the practice. This exercise, often called the heel slide or knee fallout in clinical settings, is one of the most powerful ways to retrain the brain-body connection for spinal stability. You are teaching your nervous system a new rule. Before you move a limb, you must first stabilize the center. This is the fundamental principle of all safe and powerful movement, from lifting a grocery bag to performing an athletic feat. You are rebuilding your body's operating system from the code level up. It may feel frustrating at first. You may feel your body wanting to cheat, wanting to use the wrong muscles. This is normal. Your body is trying to follow the path of least resistance, the faulty patterns it has known for years. Your job, as the conscious ruler of your kingdom, is to patiently and persistently guide it back to the correct path. Each slow, perfect repetition is a victory. It is a rewriting of your neuromuscular map. For 2 minutes, alternate between the legs, focusing not on the height of the lift, but on the quality of the stability. You are not just exercising your core, you are forging a new inner axis, a center of unshakable strength and quiet confidence that will support you long after these 4 minutes are over. Mindful release. After reawakening and challenging the deep core, we conclude the practice with a mindful release. Healing is not just about strengthening what is weak, it is also about letting go of what is tight. Now that your deep core is online and ready to do its job, we can safely encourage the chronically overworked muscles of the lower back and hips to release their tension. They can finally relax because they understand, on a subconscious neurological level, that they are no longer solely responsible for your stability. The support system has been restored. This final phase of the practice is about surrender and trust. It integrates the work you have just done and allows the body to settle into its new, more organized state. From your position on the floor, gently draw both knees in towards your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, and give yourself a gentle hug. Do not pull aggressively. This is not a forceful stretch. It is an invitation. With each exhalation, allow your knees to sink a little closer to your chest. Feel the gentle, passive lengthening of the muscles in your lower back. Feel the broadness of your back pressing against the floor. There is no effort here. You are using the weight of your legs to create a mild, sustained release. Stay here for 30 seconds to a minute, continuing your deep, diaphragmatic breathing. With every breath you send into your belly, you are also creating a gentle pressure that pushes against your spine from the inside, creating space and decompressing the lumbar vertebrae. This is a moment of profound self-compassion. You are holding and comforting the part of your body that has been in distress. From here, you can introduce a very gentle rocking motion from side to side. Imagine you are a ball, slowly rolling a few inches to the left and then a few inches to the right. This motion provides a gentle massage for the entire back, from the hips up to the shoulders. It stimulates blood flow, soothes the nervous system, and helps to release any remaining pockets of tension. Keep the movement small and slow. This is not about building momentum. It is about exploring the sensation of release. Close your eyes and feel the pressure shifting across your back as you roll. This is a non-verbal communication with your body. You are telling it, it is safe to let go. You are supported. The crisis is over. Finally, come back to the center. Release your legs and place your feet back on the floor just as you began. Lie still for a moment and simply notice. What do you feel? Is the arch in your back different from when you started? Is there a sense of warmth, of aliveness, of connection in your center that was not there before? Do not search for a dramatic change. Look for the subtle shifts, the absence of a familiar ache, a feeling of being more grounded, more centered, a sense of quiet strength deep within. This is the feedback. This is the proof that the conversation has been successful. You have spent 4 minutes not just exercising, but listening, re-educating, and restoring. You have reminded your body of its own innate intelligence. This mindful release is the seal on the practice. It locks in the new pattern and allows your entire system, mind, and body to integrate the profound changes you have initiated. 4 minutes are not a cure. They are the beginning of a cure. The true power of this practice does not lie in a single session, but in its consistent repetition. The patterns of dysfunction in your body were built over years of sitting, of stress, of neglect. They will not be undone overnight. To truly break the modern chains and rebuild your forgotten foundation, you must transform this 4-minute exercise into a daily ritual. It must become as non-negotiable as brushing your teeth. It is a fundamental act of self-care and maintenance for the most important structure you will ever own, your body. Choose a time of day when you can commit to this practice without fail. Perhaps it is the first thing you do in the morning before the demands of the day begin. Performing it in the morning can help to undo the stiffness from a night of sleep and set your body's alignment for the day ahead. It is a way of starting your day from a place of centered strength. Or perhaps you choose to do it in the evening after a long day of sitting. This can help to release the accumulated tension from the chair, to decompress your spine, and to calm your nervous system, preparing you for a restful night of sleep. The specific time is less important than the consistency. Make an appointment with yourself. Protect this time. It is only 4 minutes. There is no excuse of not having enough time. The question is not about time, it is about priority. Is your health, your freedom from pain, a priority? As you continue this daily ritual, you will notice changes beyond the physical. The practice will become a form of moving meditation. The focus required to maintain core stability, to breathe deeply, to move with slow precision. This focus trains your mind. It pulls you out of the chaotic noise, of your thoughts, and into the present moment, into the physical reality of your breath and your body. This daily practice becomes an anchor in your day, a moment of stillness and reconnection in a world that constantly pulls you outward. The discipline it takes to show up on the floor every single day, even when you don't feel like it, builds a different kind of strength. The strength of character, of self-respect. You are teaching yourself through action that you are worthy of care and attention. Do not become discouraged if you have days where the pain seems to return, or days where you feel stiff and uncoordinated. Healing is not a linear path. There will be fluctuations. The body needs time to adapt and remodel. On those difficult days, the ritual is more important than ever. Show up, lie on the floor, and breathe. Even if you only do the breathing, you are reinforcing the habit. You are honoring your commitment to yourself. Over weeks and months, the good days will begin to outnumber the bad. The underlying stability of your core will become your new normal. You will start to notice it not just during the practice, but in your daily life. You will feel more stable when you stand, more powerful when you lift, and more resilient in your posture. The 4-minute ritual is the seed. With daily watering, it will grow into a tree of profound and lasting strength. Its roots deep in your awakened core. Its branches reaching towards a life of effortless, pain-free movement. Deeper peace. Ultimately, this journey is about more than back pain. The pain was the catalyst, the loud knock on the door that finally got your attention. But what you discover on the other side of that door is a much deeper truth. By learning to heal your physical center, you begin to heal your emotional and spiritual center as well. The lack of physical stability you felt in your back was a mirror for a lack of inner stability in your life. The feeling of being unsupported by your own body reflected a deeper feeling of being unsupported by the world around you, a sense of navigating life without a firm anchor. As you build this inner axis of physical strength, you simultaneously cultivate an inner axis of mental and emotional resilience. The principles of the practice, awareness, gentleness, patience, consistency, and stability, become principles for living. You learn to approach all of life's challenges with the same quiet intention you bring to the floor. When faced with a stressful situation, you remember to breathe deeply into your center before reacting. When feeling overwhelmed, you find your inner axis, that place of stillness within the storm. When you feel your life pulling you out of alignment, you know how to perform the subtle internal correction to bring yourself back to center. The body becomes the teacher, and its lessons are profound. It teaches you that true strength is not loud, aggressive, or forceful. True strength is quiet, deep, and intelligent. It is the ability to remain stable and centered in the midst of chaos. The relief from pain is the first gift of this practice, but the second, more lasting gift is a state of deeper peace. It is the peace that comes from feeling at home in your own body. It is the confidence that comes from knowing you possess the tools to care for yourself, to heal yourself. You are no longer a victim of your pain, passively waiting for an external cure. You are an active participant in your own well-being, empowered with knowledge and awareness. This sense of self-reliance, of sovereignty over your own. Feel the shift from just physical movement to a deeper inner awareness. For me, it was trying to lift my leg and realizing my whole body wanted to cheat. It was a real moment of truth. Curious to hear your experiences.